Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm here with Douglas Dye. He's a candidate for California State Assembly representing the 66th District. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
So the cities that you represent, can you name a few of those?
Yes, Temecula and Murrieta are the major population centers. And then you have part of northern San Diego, which is Fallbrook, not Escondido. And then there's some smaller cities north of Temecula, which is Lake Elsinore, and it kind of winds around. It's been divided up between the 65th it's divided between the 65th and the 64th. Anyway, it's a long list of cities.
It is a long list, but the whole list is on the website, so people can check that
Yes.
out after
Oh,
the
yes.
interview. So you're offering a Democratic alternative to Kevin Jeffries, who is Republican.
Democrats think more in terms of the problems of the poor. We are more worried about the abuse of monopolies taking advantage of people, whereas Republicans are more worried about government wasting money, which, and also they're more into the very conservative view of capitalism, which tends to tolerate monopolistic practices. And Democrats are more interested in public works, things like public education and Social Security. Republicans left on their own would never have allowed Social Security to happen, and that sort of thing.
So you say that your philosophy is based on a free market economy. Can you tell us what that means?
Free market means a competitive market. Basically, capitalism says that when you buy something, the amount you pay is an agreement between you and the seller. So there can be many capitalistic systems. However, if you have a monopoly, for example, in 2000, we had an example of a monopoly operation in the sale of electricity in California, where the electricity companies bumped up the price in order to make a profit, and we had blackouts, and there was a major scandal over that, and they were taken to court. Around the end of the 19th century, it was realized that a free market is a marvelous thing. You talk about Adam Smith and the free hand, because when you have an adjustment between supply and demand, that means there are no shortages, no excesses, everybody gets what they want at a free price. But if you allow a monopoly to control things, what will happen is the monopoly will jump up the price to make more money, and they will allow shortages to occur and people who need the product to not get it. So I believe in regulation. We see the same problem with the financial sector, is what our current unemployment was due to Republicans' pursuit of unregulation of the financial industry. So.
Well, you mentioned on your website that if people are sick of career politicians doing anything to stay in office, you can provide a change for that. Can you explain that to me?
Well, I don't have any money to speak of. I'm retired, and so I'm not in it to make money. I'm in it on principle. Whereas we have a problem in government now that too many politicians go into politics with the expectation that they'll serve a few years in office and then become lobbyists, and I don't think that way.
And your promise, you say your promise is allegiance to the people of the district, not the lobbyists. What is your promise to the people of the district?
Well, to understand the problems of the district. Right now in Temecula and Murrieta, the local issues have to do with development versus the environment. And I come down on the side of the environment. For example, there's the major issue of granite construction and the Liberty Quarry project that they're trying to put through in Temecula, where in order to add 100 jobs, they say they're going to build this gigantic quarry and destroy the ecological reserve, which it's short-term gain versus a long-term destruction of the environment. And I, along with hundreds of businesses in Temecula, strongly opposed to granite quarry. You have other issues more statewide. The levy system in Northern California is in a state of disrepair. If that breaks, you're going to open your tap and have salt water in your drinking water. And the issue is how to repair that. The Republicans admit it has to be repaired, but they want to not cover the price of the ecological damage that would happen if you repaired those levees, whereas Democrats want to do a good job. They want to repair the levees, but they also want to take care of the ecological damage that is going to be done by the work to repair them.
And how else do you hope to help the cities if elected?
Well, the other thing I'm in favor of is more education to increase jobs, because we see a trend in California where you're going to need more college-educated workers. And in order to do that, you're going to have to change the way the legislature passes tax bills and go back to the model of education that we had prior to 1978, where it was very open, encouraged anybody to get into the junior college system and get a college education, and that in turn will provide more employment. Right now, a major problem in California and throughout the country is unemployment.
And you mentioned in your website that you believe passing budgets on a simple majority has affected the school systems. As we all know, the school systems are, not doing too well right now, to say the least. Can we change that?
Well, there's a proposition there are circulars going around now. There's a proposition being proposed to put on the ballot to allow the voters to vote in simple majority. And you'll see at supermarkets and a lot of locations throughout California, a petition is available to sign, and also you can find it on the website. They have a website and a kit where if you want to become a helper in this, you can download the form and go door to door and get anybody you want to sign the petition. So it's going to be a proposition on the ballot. In other words, it's a change to the Constitution. It requires a simple change to the Constitution, and that's the way they're going to do it.
And another issue I see on there is clean money campaign finance. What is that?
Clean money campaign finance. Right now on the ballot will be the opportunity to vote for Secretary of State, allow the Secretary of State race to be a clean money campaign. Clean money means that if a person shows a certain minimal amount of support, there's a certain number of $5 donations. If you get that many donations to show that you do have some support, then you have the option of receiving matching funds from the state to match the funds that whatever your opponent raises. In other words, it will alleviate the problem of having a very qualified candidate not able to make a dent because they just don't have the money for the advertising and they don't have the ability to pay to get their message out. And it's a trial run for the Secretary of State's office, and then if that goes, they'll expand it to other races. There are about, I forget the names of them, there are several states in the United States right now that have gone to clean campaign finance, and the people in those states like it very well. It's produced a better grade of politician in those states.
So Douglas Dye, candidate for California State Assembly representing the 66th District. How can people find your website to learn more? DouglasDye4Assembly.com. If you Google Douglas Dye and Assembly, it comes up right away. Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you.
And we're going to have more for everyone after the break.